This is Cheyenne Valentine, back today again with a new episode. Today's episode, I just want to make this video quick, and I want to talk about the past. I want to let you all know that you are to not look back at the past in a way to want it in your present. So the past is to stay in the past. You are to learn from the past, or you are to learn from the mistakes of the past that you might have made, and you are to take knowledge and wisdom from the past, and you are to take life lessons from the past, but you are not to bring the past into the present. So what I mean by this, let's just say there's a friend, and God forbid an ex, that you haven't talked to in 20 years or 10 years or 15 years, and you try to contact this person, you know, maybe on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, or just whatever is a social media site, and this person's on that social media site. You're gonna have this desire to want to contact this person from the past, and in some cases it's not bad, because I remember it was a friend I had in elementary school, in high school. We met in elementary school. She stayed around me, and we didn't go to the same high school, but we still was in contact, you know, even though we went to different high schools. And like about 5 years ago, I kept thinking about her. Maybe about 3 years ago, I kept thinking about her, and I couldn't stop. And this was I think she wasn't on Facebook, but she ended up getting on there, and I sent her a friend request, or she sent me one, and we exchanged numbers, and we talked for about 4 hours. And she has a daughter. I think her daughter at the time was 12 or 13, and her daughter said, "Mom, who are you talking to? You sure are smiling. I never saw you smile so much." And her daughter was telling how much she was smiling just from we talked for 4 hours. Like, we knew each other since we were about we met in elementary school. We went to the same elementary school. So yeah, since we were 12, we knew each other, and we lost contact, and it felt so good to talk to her. And I remember on Facebook she had posted after we talked that it felt so good to talk to an old friend. And even though, you know, she did contact me not too long ago and said, how are you? And I asked her, "Oh, I'm doing good. How are you?" She didn't respond back. I kind of feel like that people that was in your past, if they're not in your present, they're not meant to be in your present. So that does not mean that she's a bad person, because she's not all. She's awesome. But I don't think that me and her are meant to be in each other's life currently. But I think we needed to talk to each other for that 4 hours to kind of tie up the loose ends of the past. You know, somebody that you grew up with, and you haven't spoke to them, you just want to speak to them again and just reminisce, and you know, it felt so good to the soul. But that was meant for that moment, and I don't think it's meant for anybody of my past to be in my present. And it's painful in a sense, but at the same time, you know, people in your life for a reason, for a lesson, and enjoy the moments that you had with them, but don't dwell on those moments, because those moments don't last forever. And so go out and experience life. So that's what I want to say, that actually there's nothing wrong with possibly contacting an old friend, but I would say this. I do not think you should contact exes unless some kind of way this person disappeared on you, and it wasn't there wasn't any closure. It was just some weird circumstance, and just like, you just gotta know. Fine, you might not get the answer you wanted, but fine. But with old friends, the only way I feel you should maybe contact them is if you've been dreaming about them, like having dreams about them and constantly thinking about them. Because she told me when I contacted her that she had been thinking about me too, and it was just weird. And so we were meant to talk. It's kind of like a last hurrah, you know, talk. And I see her Facebook posts, and she sees mine, but I don't think we're meant to like hang out currently. But I think we still get along. It's nothing like that. It's just we were meant to talk for those hours, and just to kind of tie up the past. It's time to move forward. And so I just want you all to know that the past is the past. It's not meant to be brought forth in the future. And I've made mistakes contacting people from my past in hopes of bringing them into the future. And in that case, the only time that usually works, well, first of all, you shouldn't be trying to bring them to the future. But if you've been thinking about them and dreaming about them, I think it's okay to contact them if you all friendship ended on a good note, meaning you just lost contact with each other. But if you've been dreaming about them and thinking about them, and you all had a bad the ending of your friendship was bad, then they might not respond well to you because they might still be angry about how your friendship ended. So just be mindful of that. And that's why I say, unless you're dreaming about somebody, and a friend, not an ex, but unless you're dreaming about somebody, thinking about them a lot, you might be meant to talk to them, because they could be thinking about you too. And that's only somebody that you had a good ending of the friendship with. You guys just lost contact. Not somebody was a bad ending, because they probably could actually still be mad. People still be mad about stuff 20 years ago. So yeah. But generally speaking, you need to leave the past in the past. The future is the future. The people of the past, the situations, you don't want to dwell on that and keep thinking about it. Leave it where it's at. It happened back then, and let it stay back there. It is not to be brought into the present, because you're just going to basically relive in the trauma. And even if it was a good friendship, the thing about it is people change. So just because they were like that 10 years ago, don't mean that person's like that now. They could be a total different person based upon their situations and circumstances. So they could not be the same person they was 10 years ago. So here you are trying to contact them thinking they're going to behave the way they did, and now they're a different person. They could be Really, do you meet a person who was a jerk back then, now this is a great person? Usually people, in my opinion, they change, but the way they change, you might not be accustomed to the way they change. So I'm not going to say they change for the worse, but, usually something is just not the same with them. And usually when time has went past, you all have different habits, different interests, and you have to move on from that. And so I had to learn this the hard way. I remember I had moved to a different city, and I was kind of bored. And I ended up, it was a friend I had. We had our friendship ended bad, but to me it didn't end all that bad. It just ended basically she would text me, I wouldn't respond, I would give her one word answers because she did something that upset me, and the friendship was one-sided. So then she noticed this, so she texted me and said, "What's wrong with you?" And I told her, I said, "Well, you took this guy's side over mine, and also the friendship is one-sided. All you do is call me and talk about yourself, but you never give me an opportunity to talk about me." That's all I said. And she got mad, and I hadn't heard from her for 12 years. That's literally what happened. And she didn't, when I texted her that, she asked me what was wrong, and I just told her. And she didn't say, "Well, why you feel like that, but man, I didn't know I was doing it. I mean, I thought you like hearing me talk in the conversation." Or I took his side because X, Y, Z. She didn't even want to explain herself. She did not think she was in the wrong at all. And she was. And she did not think she was in the wrong. And I ended up sending her a Facebook message 12 years later. And I said, "How are you doing?" And she never responded. And the moment I sent it, I regretted it. The moment I sent that, I was like, I should not have sent that. And I deleted it from my end, but I'm pretty sure she got it. And she never responded. And so I was like, oh, okay, oh well, And I remember that like about a year or two later, I had a dream about her. And I'm like, why am I having a dream about her? So I started thinking, and I realized that she didn't think that she was in the wrong. And it's weird. She thinks that, I wronged her because I took that ear from her. I stopped being the person she called, and just, she basically had me there to tell me about her sex capades and talking about the trifling shit she was doing. So she enjoyed me because I sit there and listen to the crap, and I wouldn't even interrupt. I just let her talk. And so she enjoyed that. And so when I took that from her, that made her mad. So she was actually more bitter about the friendship ending than I was. I'm the one who should be bitter because I didn't get shit out the friendship. I mean, I got something out of it, but it was starting to turn toxic for me, and I started to feel drained because she literally called me one day. I answered the phone. I said, "Hey, how are you doing?" She started talking, and then once she paused, I thought it was my turn to talk, and so I said, "Yeah, so today," and then before I could finish my sentence, she said, "Oh, I gotta go, girl, I gotta go," and hung up. So she basically just using me as an ear. And after that moment, I knew I had to end the friendship because she had kept doing. She started doing it gradually, and it got to the point it was just unbearable. Like, it's like you're just calling me, and I just supposed to just sit there and hold the phone while you talk to me, and you're not even giving a fuck about what's going on with me at all. That's not a friendship. You're a toxic, selfish, self-centered person. You need to be on an island by your damn self because you don't care about nobody but yourself. And so I said it to say that sometimes you try to contact the person from your past out of boredom, out of just curiosity, and it bites you in the butt. And you find out they still mad. They mad at you, and you ain't do nothing to them. So I just want to say, don't bring that toxic energy into your life. If that's the past, leave it there. Do not bring it into the present. People that did you wrong in the past don't deserve to be in your present. I'm not telling you to hold a grudge. What I'm saying is, if there's a friend you lost contact with, you know, maybe it was meant for y'all to lose contact. Now, if they contact you, you could talk to them, but 9 times out of 10, it might not be the same. But let's say, for example, you had a friend y'all lost contact, and you all knew each other in California. You moved to Las Vegas, and you go on Facebook, you see they're in Las Vegas, and if they contact you saying, "Hey, girl, you know, I see you," and let's say you put on your Facebook that you're in Las Vegas, and they say they're there, and they contact you, say, "Oh, girl, you want to hang out? I ain't seen you in ages." Then I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think, you know, the universe will bring you back together if you're meant to be cool again. I feel that's what the universe would do. And if the universe is not doing that, don't force it. Don't force somebody to be in your life that does not want to be in it. When I sent her that message and she did not respond back, I wasn't quite that angry at first, you know. I didn't get that angry about it, period. I was just like, oh, okay, she's still mad, you know. But then I thought about, I'm like, why is she mad? She the one did something to me. You know, I had let it go. It's been 12 years. And I was like, oh, I wonder how she's doing. And thought she'd be happy to hear from me. But no, she wasn't happy to hear from me. As a matter of fact, she didn't want nothing to do with me when she wronged me, when she was being a shitty friend to me, and I just called it out, and she didn't even want to talk about it. She just said, okay, fine, that's how you feel, I'm out, you know. So I learned the lesson from that. That lesson is, do not try to drag people from your past into your present. Don't do that. Lead them where they at. They don't want to be in your life. They don't want to be there. They don't want to change, especially if they had bad behavior in the past and they never apologized. You think they have changed? They're the same motherfucker, excuse me, that they were then. They just older now. Okay, 10 years older. They're no different. So just leave them where they at. They are around people who are more compatible to them and their vibration. Your vibration obviously is different than them, else you guys still be friends. Obviously the vibrations have changed and they're not meant to be in your life any further. And you know, so I know some of you people have tried to contact exes. We all know that. Don't do it. If that's an ex, they're an ex for a reason. Unless this ex contacts you and say, I'm sorry for everything I've ever done to you, and I have did a 360 change, and I would like to take you out for lunch, you might consider it. But other than that, if they haven't done that, why are you contacting them? There's literally no point. You know what they did to you, and they probably have not changed. I'm about 100% they have not changed. And let me get something straight too. Just because someone's your ex does not mean they're a bad person. Because people always assume, oh, that person's in my past, I get made them ex for a reason, they're a terrible person. No. Just because people break up does not mean they were bad people. They might have been bad for each other and they couldn't give the other person what they needed. So you might be with someone who is not as ambitious as you like them to be. They're content with a certain lifestyle and you want more. Okay, you guys aren't compatible. Unless they're gonna try to come up to your level, or you're gonna have to bring down you have to bring yours down, then it'll work. But if nobody's trying to compromise, if there's no compromise, then y'all not gonna be able to be together. So that does not mean that he or she is bad, or that you're bad. It just means you all are not compatible anymore. So just because somebody is an ex-friend or ex-lover does not mean that person was bad. It's just they weren't, as you changing, they're changing, y'all not on the same page no more. So yeah, I just want to say, stop trying to bring people in the past into the present. They don't belong in the present. It's not going to be the same as it was in the past. It might be even worse. If it was bad, then it probably be even worse now. I know sometimes our intentions are good. Like I know mine was when I contact her, like, oh, how you doing? I ain't talked to you in like 12 years. And you know, my mind wasn't on that it ended kind of bad. I didn't think it ended all that bad. Okay, I text you, I told you what I was upset about. You didn't respond back. We never talked again. Okay, oh well, you know, at that moment we didn't need to be friends at that moment because the shit, you know, of what was going on. We didn't, you know, it was toxic at that moment, for me at least. And so it's 12 years later, I think you'll be, you know, I'm thinking that's 12 years ago and nobody, you know, we didn't hit each other, we didn't fight, we didn't cuss each other. I was none of that. So I'm thinking it wasn't a bad ending per se. I mean, it was a shitty ending, but it was just an ending that I couldn't stomach being drained of my energy all the time and not get it replenished. That's all. And she's actually mad at me like I'm the one that was a toxic friend to her. So some people, they belong in the past. They can't see the error of their ways. They're selfish, they don't care, and that's where they need to stay. Or they could be a good person, it's just you guys are not compatible no more. Don't try to drag them into the future. Let them stay where they're at.